We are live on YouTube. What is going on?
Hey.
You doing the gritty, Charlie?
Doing a gritty.
Nice. We want to make sure to thank our sponsors, RX Smart Gear and Mobility Movement. And I'm going to put up a little banner here at the bottom where you can see our discount codes. Make sure to go to rxsmartgear.com.
My internet must be bad because I can't hear anything. Choppy.
Yeah.
I appreciate you ruining our intro.
Yeah.
Your nonsense.
So go to rxsmartgear.com, use the code Clydesdale15. You'll get 15% off your order. That's everything except for new releases and special editions. In addition to that, we have Mobility Movement, the most complete mobility and restoration and rehabilitation program out there. Make sure you go to mobilitymovement.com. Use the code Clydesdale20 to get 20% off your first 6-month subscription. And Amy keeps coming in and out of good cell service, so we'll get her when we can get her. So, Amy, where are you off to? Apparently, she's off to Dublin where there's no cell service.
I'm going to answer for her. She's going to the gym.
Okay. I'm going to do the complex one first, the CrossFit Total.
So we have not even discussed what the workouts are.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't even know because I have been working diligently on my day job today.
Good for you.
Do you guys know how similar are they to the individuals?
Well, they're pretty different.
Okay.
Yes.
The first
is that a good thing or bad thing?
I'm okay with them. The first workout is 3 rounds for time of 20 toes to bar and 20 dumbbell snatches at 50 pounds. 10-minute time cap. So
70
I'm definitely,
for men.
Yeah, I'm definitely capping out on that one. That one will wear me out a bunch. I can do 50-pound dumbbell snatch, but I will be worn out for sure. And then the second workout is a chipper that has a shit ton of bar facing burpees. And by a shit ton, I mean 90.
Okay.
It goes down from 50 to 10.
Yeah, so it starts with a 50 overhead squats. I think at 65 for females.
95 for men.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then 40 bar facing burpees. Then
back rack walking lunges.
Oh, back rack walking lunges, yeah. Then more bar facing burpees.
Then cleans.
Yep, cleans. Bar facing burpees. Pistols. And 10 ring muscle ups. And there's a 20-minute cap for that. I will also be hitting that cap.
No, you're going to be getting your first 10 muscle ups.
It's not that. Listen, it's not that part I'm worried about. It's the 90 bar facing burpees that I'm worried about.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Workout 3.
Workout 3, I think, is the 1 rope climb, and then shuttle runs, and then 2 rope climbs, shuttle runs. It's like a 10-minute AMRAP, increasing in rope climbs and shuttle runs.
Yeah, rope climb by 1, shuttle runs by 2.
Blah, blah, blah.
And they are down and back is 1.
Got it. Just
making sure you know.
Got the standards right here. And then workout 4 is the CrossFit Total.
Which is
1 rep, well, your total of deadlift, max press, and max back squat.
Mm-hmm.
30 minutes to do that. Then the last workout, I think it's 3 rounds for time again.
Yep.
It is.
Okay, and it's 50 calories on the rower, 15 handstand push-ups, and 50 double unders.
Are we going around the world this year, or?
I do. I mean, I tend to go around the world. So we'll see.
I will say, ever since she's got her new RX Smart Gear rope, she has done a lot better with her dubs.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm going to tell you, listen to this. This is a true story. That a couple weekends ago, I did a competition with some girls from the gym, one of them being Charlie's wife. And we had a very small space that we had to do our like kind of rotation in our workout. And so because we wanted to just kind of minimize the amount of extra stuff we had there, Lisa was like, hey, borrow my jump rope. And so I borrowed her jump rope, and I tripped up more times using somebody else's rope than I ever have before. So it was not an RX Smart Gear rope.
There you go.
Yep.
So which ones are you attacking today? And for our listeners, so that they know, Amy has plans this weekend. So it is busting out what she can tonight and then what she has to do on Sunday.
No, I'm going to do 2 tomorrow.
Okay. She changed her plans.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to go in and warm up and do the CrossFit Total one first while I'm more fresh. Then I'm going to hit the chipper, so workout number 2. And then hit the toes to bar and dumbbell snatch after that.
And those would be tomorrow?
Those 3 tonight.
Okay. So 3 tonight, 2 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then call it a weekend and then go run a marathon like James Newberry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to run a marathon, but I'm going to go hiking all weekend. So there is that.
She's going to do a bourbon trail. That kind of marathon.
No. Maybe a box wine marathon.
Oh. Put it in your ruck pack, a little camelback of Malbec.
There you go.
I'll back it up. Yeah. So I'm actually kind of surprised with the workouts. I mean, nothing seems. I mean, I can't really do ring muscle ups, but that's even if I get there. You know, I can work on attempting to get there, but everything else seems pretty doable. So we'll see.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't see anything crazy in here that's, as a master's
that's
athlete,
scary,
you could be like, I'm just going to stare at this.
Yeah. So do you think there's enough in there to separate the best from the just really good?
No.
That was my initial thought too, Charlie.
The weight's not crazy. I mean, your complex thing's going to put a weird person up there, I'm sure. You know, the overhead squat one is just, can you move it?
Yeah.
The rope one's kind of silly to me, but you're just running quickly.
Yeah.
Up a rope.
Yeah, I just find the test kind of like an open, you know, like a harder open year.
Seems like a throwaway.
Where's the high skill movement other than the muscle up? Did I see? I don't remember handstand push-ups or.
Yeah, they're in there.
They are?
Yeah. And there's a pistols, 20 pistols. Five has is it 5?
So Andrew Sten, and as you can see now, we can pop the comments up on the screen, says that the semis are for that separation now. And that is true. Unlike last year, there is one more stage before we get to the CrossFit Games.
Yeah, it's just kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I'm trying to, it's a new format. Yeah.
So, but I guess I'm just a little bit surprised because you are to the top 10%. The individuals gets way harder. I don't think this one got way harder from the open.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see who's at the top. See if it's a normal cast of characters. Good luck this weekend, Amy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We look forward to next week hearing how it all went. We lost Jamie.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. I was going to say, I almost messaged you to say, can I borrow your leg booties again for the weekend? But I think I'll be okay.
What other skills would you put in there? Good question.
So I think 10 ring muscle ups is pretty light. There's no bar muscle ups. There's no chest to bar pull ups. I don't know. Handstand walking. Just some things off the top of my head. I'm not like mad at this. I'm not mad at this, Andrew. I'm just throwing it out there. I expected it to be just a little heavier weight on some areas. Maybe not across the board, but just like one where the weight got a little heavy. But I do get your point that the semifinals now for the age groups make a difference, and there's one more place to separate.
Hey,
But you look at like.
What was that?
Do we know if
Go ahead.
There's still so much information I want to know about the levels, but like what does quarterfinals have to do with the levels? Like if I don't submit all the scores, does that change my level?
There has been nothing put out about the levels. So that is, that's a little bit of an unknown. I think you are already at your level right now, and the only thing that can happen is it get higher.
They can't take that away from you.
So
Cool.
You are a level 8 Riki.
And they can't take away my level 1.
It only goes up from there, buddy.
So we all wish Amy the best of luck this weekend as she's going through another dead zone in Dublin where they're not allowed to put cell towers higher than the height of a car. So anyway, it's been pretty much a shit show this week around the CrossFit space. So Charlie, you want to talk about that a little bit? The big news was, I think we woke up Tuesday morning, and 4 people were moved from Atlas Games to 3 to Granite, 1 to MAC. One of those being the number 1 seed, Mal O'Brien. And there has been a lot of reaction to that. In addition to that, I was talking to Snorri Barone last night about the 4 top seeded men in the Asian semifinal, who all are residing in the United States currently and are at risk if they leave this country, it may not be allowed back in. One of those, a person who moved over here as a child, has lived here his whole life. And he is I hope I get this right, a DECA person who, if they leave the country, loses all of his authority to come back in the United States. Those people have not been moved to any other semifinal. And a lot of people were talking about the balance of power shifting from the Atlas Games to the Granite Games because of Mal's move, and that is a very hard semifinal to get out of now. But you take the top 4 men out of the Asian region, that really shifts a major amount of power out of that region right now. Any thoughts on all of that?
Amy?
I'm just waiting to hear back. I want to hear some more responses about like CrossFit, about why this all happened and what's their thinking, what's their rationale for this.
Well, I doubt you're going to get anything soon. But I think it's if you're trying to find the fittest, I don't think we're going about it the right way, obviously. I mean, if you take those 4 guys out and I decide to go to Asia and make it to CrossFit Games, clearly that's not a good representation of, not saying that whoever goes isn't fit, but and then on the other side, you gotta, in some sense you gotta be who's in front of you, but there has to be kind of a balance of if you're wanting to get the certain fittest in on how that needs to be done. So I think it's more about communication. We've had conversations with people who have said they've heard nothing from anyone and they've asked questions about it.
Yeah, my biggest complaint is that all of these were known issues coming into the semifinals. Why is CrossFit waiting till after the seeding to make any adjustments? That could have been done. That could have been done before they seeded people, and then there's less of an uproar because it doesn't look as shady. The other people I feel sorry for are people like Fisa Gaffi and Amanda Barnhart, who last year went to the MAC. Tia gets moved from Oceania to the MAC, essentially takes away a spot from that semifinal. Those same 2 participants are at the Granite Games, and now the number 1 seed's being moved into their semifinal again, essentially, theoretically taking away another spot from the people who are already there. And all that to say that is all about a fairness thing. The other 4 gentlemen, it is a way of life that could be removed from them. And it's a much bigger deal for them than it would be for the people here in North America.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I was also told that pretty much those 4 men have been told that the solution to the problem is that those 4 men would be given an automatic bid to the last chance qualifier. But that doesn't solve the problem that the 4 best are not in Asia to compete. And it lumps them in with all of the 6th, 7th, 8th, or wherever they are, the next 3 to not qualify in every semi to compete against them.
Oh, all the ladies in the car. It's shocking. You 2 are in the car and you both have green sweatshirts on.
Hi guys, can you hear me okay?
A little soft, but we can hear you.
Okay, deal. I had a point to make.
So why not give Annika an invite to the last chance qualifier?
I have no idea. None of this makes any sense.
Cat.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Annika thing is over. Like, that's not going to be revisited. Unfortunately, I still think there's a way to get her in there, but it sucks. Scott, you mentioned that you were talking about the guy, Dennis, right? Lives in LA and is from some Eastern European country that can't travel. It's an Eastern country, can't come back in.
Correct.
My question is, has he, I mean, we knew what these rules were when the season started, right? We knew that everything was going to be based on your country of citizenship, and that you were most likely going to have to go to your semifinal in your region. And I'm wondering, did he ever reach out to CrossFit from the very beginning to sort of alert them to this potential issue? And I don't know the answer to that, but I would hope so. I would hope that for these people that are now coming forward and having issues with it, I would hope that they would have gone to them in the first place to sort of raise the awareness. You know what I mean?
So, like, I don't know if you heard, I talked to Snorri last night.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I don't know that I know that they have talked to CrossFit about this situation and that CrossFit has known about it before now, but I don't know how early in the process that happened.
Got it. And it's just, the thing that makes it look really bad to me is that last year they made an exception for Tia, who happened to be the top athlete going into semifinals. And then this year they're sort of making a change for Mal, but like no one else is getting any kind of accommodation, or at least there are still people that aren't being accommodated that we know about. And so that's just what leaves me a bad taste in my mouth. It's like, you can do it for some people, but not for everybody. And I think they've got to realize what a mess if they did accommodate everybody. And it's like, at this point, what do they do? And I don't have an answer. I'm just like, they're in a really bad spot. And I'm not saying it's definitely self-inflicted, but it's messy, really messy.
Well, the toothpaste is out of the tube at this point. This should have been done prior to the seeding of the semis. Looked at all the exceptions, what they were going to approve, what they weren't going to approve, and have all that sorted out before they announced who was going to what semifinal. Now, Andrew at one point said that Boz was on TEF and gave an explanation. I have not had the opportunity to watch that yet, but I definitely will do that as soon as we're off the air here, just to kind of see what Boz said to that. But just to let you know, we had Kelly Stone. Charlie and I interviewed her this morning, and she's a Granite Games participant. And she's one of those athletes. She finished 8th at the West Coast Classic last year in a very stacked division. She has the opportunity to make the games. This affects her. She said she's gone through the 5 stages of grief this week with this announcement alone. And what that means and how it's out of her control. She's going to have to do the best she can do, but it definitely affected her. And she actually reached out to CrossFit and said she didn't have a problem going to Canada, and that if they needed her to go instead of someone else, she would be glad to do so. We're getting some feedback from you, Kat, as you're coming off Bluetooth. So anyway, she's made those statements, and I'm going to clip that and post it up on our YouTube channel this weekend, just so you can see what it's like as being one of the other participants in these semifinals and how that feels. It's a perspective that I don't think anybody is given yet.
Yeah.
Any other things going on this week that we want to chat about? Anybody out there? We're getting a lot of participation. I know that Gershwin asked if they're still only giving 2 spots at Last Chance. Dave chimed in that yes, 2 spots for Last Chance qualifier, and that's as far as I know as well. I haven't heard any different, but things have changed a lot in a couple of days.
Right. As of right now.
Until you actually see people on the podium and they say, here's who's going.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
never know. Well,
Yeah, it's
you didn't
crazy.
really qualify. This isn't the last chance. This is the last chance to qualify.
And I think that's what, when we were talking to Kelly today, every year the exceptions have been made for like the number one seed. So it gives this view of, if you are named so-and-so, you're going to be given more benefit of the doubt than somebody else.
They should just let you go to the games and just be done with it.
Yeah. There's a lot of inequity there. It just doesn't seem fair.
Yeah. It's been a crazy week.
Because really, if they didn't, like if Tia got fourth randomly, they're just going to not let her in the games. Not going to happen.
Oh, you mean at the Touring Pro, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She gets sick from something. Kangaroo bites her or something.
Did
Takes her-
we talk about Sam Briggs getting into the strength and depth?
Nope. All we got was age group workouts and the shit show.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to fix my thing here. Hold on. Oop.
Look at this fancy place.
I know. Sorry. Here. That's a little better. I think that's really cool for Sam Briggs. I mean, this was the year that she was going to retire anyway. So I'm just curious to see if she will decide to go Masters or not.
Yeah, I think she wants that open division for her 40th birthday. But I don't know.
Gonna have to take a hard look at who's going to that semifinal and, sort of dig deep and figure out if that's in the cards for her or not.
And she got strength and
heavy,
depth, right? Sorry, Charlie.
I know. I'm saying if it's no heavy workouts, I don't see why she couldn't.
Yeah.
I agree about the regional model. I mean, I know everyone's like, oh, they're not going to bring regionals back. And I get it. They're not going to bring regionals back in the way that they used to be regionals, where CrossFit ran them and, had to pay for them and all that kind of stuff. But if you have enough of these, enough of these event organizers across the country and across the world really willing to have these events, it should be sort of just a localized type of a thing based on where you live and train, just like the teams where you talk about, if you're a part of the affiliate cup, you have to, train 90% or whatever the number is at that affiliate. It should just be one of those things where if you spend X amount percentage of time during the season in this one place, or if you can prove some kind of residency or, training or whatnot, that's where you should be able to compete. Let people move around like they used to do.
The model's fine. Just take away the citizenship requirement.
Right.
And just base it on where you live.
Right. Residence.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with that. I think they were trying to make it this Olympic style event where people marched in with their flags and everything. But in the process, it's become so convoluted to try to do that, especially with a worldwide pandemic, wars going on that you can't control. You have to take a step back and say, this is not good for the sport. The only way we grow is to have the best people possible there.
Right.
Let's open it back up the way we used to.
Yeah. And you can still represent your country. Like that's the other part. Like I remember when Katrin competed in the Northeastern Regional, she had an American flag next to her name, like because she was in an American regional. But like, why can't she just be Icelandic and be in this region? Like,
yeah, because she draped an Icelandic flag over her shoulders when she won.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. They're not mutually exclusive. The region you compete in and your country of citizenship, it shouldn't be one or the other.
Right. Right. I did
Yeah.
put out some polls about on our YouTube community page. And one of those was with the Mal O'Brien situation. And I didn't call it that. It was the 4 people moved. Was that the right thing to do? CrossFit needs to do better, or wait, what happened? And it was a majority of CrossFit needs to do better.
Yeah.
There were more, wait, what happened, than that it was a good thing. So more people didn't even know it happened than thought
Yep.
it was a good thing that it happened. I also put out, are all 3 Mayhem teams going to make the games? And that was a narrow margin of yes.
Yeah, most likely. Well, what happened with their third team? Did they get a new person?
I don't think so.
So
They haven't been.
Why would they need one?
So Mayhem Justice, is it Justice?
Yes. The
They,
media one?
one of their competitors, I guess, wasn't living within
Allegedly.
allegedly didn't meet the criteria to be on the team, and she accepted an individual invitation to a semifinal. So what happens? Did they take? I guess they have an alternate.
So Taylor took an individual spot to a semifinal because the team's leaderboard is still not final.
Okay, so are they allowed to rescind?
Yes.
Got it. But the speculation is that she took that invite. I don't know. Are there alternates to teams right now?
I don't know. That all confuses me. I know last year that Invictus was able to switch out people late.
Going into the semifinals, yeah. Right?
They did it even from the semifinals to the games. Now, it was before the one guy tested positive and they got eliminated.
Right.
But they did switch someone in prior to that happening.
Okay. And it was actually, I think it was a female that tested positive, wasn't it?
It was a male.
Oh, I'm thinking of somebody else.
So whatever happened to Ellie?
Dude, you keep asking, nobody's telling.
Oh, Ellie Kabord. Yeah. I don't know. That's
she
really
was the same year as Ricky, right?
Yeah.
Ricky's able to compete, but she's
she was
not fit anymore.
Year after Ricky, I think she was 2018. She was actually the first year of sanctionals, so 2019.
Yep.
So she has another year.
Yeah, and I haven't seen her much on the Mayhem channel lately.
She does the Mayhem 30.
Does she still?
Yeah, the last couple I've looked at, it was her.
Okay. I was disappointed that she didn't keep in touch with everybody because she was very genuine and seemed very steadfast in her belief of what her deal was. And she promised that she was going to come out with all this information that was going to help other athletes in the event, once everything was when the investigation or appeal was complete, and she never did. And that was disappointing to me.
Agreed.
Maybe she didn't have any information.
Yeah, but then she should have come back and said that. I really enjoyed her, watching her train and seeing her succeed, and supporting her during that time, and wanting to believe her and everything else. And so the fact that she put that out there and then didn't really follow up just kind of sours that a little bit for me.
Yeah. Well, guys, we are past the half-hour mark. I know it's been a busy day for a lot of us. So I'm going to go watch that TEF and see what Boz says. I'm not optimistic that it's going to be something that is going to quench my distaste for everything that's gone on.
Agreed.
And really it comes back to what you said in your rant, Kat. Like, I love this sport and I hate the fact they look like fools.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to be all in. I want to be a cheerleader. I don't want to have to talk about this crap.
Yeah. Well, with that, we will see you next time on the Clydesdale Fitness and Friends. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Make sure you use those codes at mobilitymovement.com and rxmarket.com. See you next time.
Like and subscribe.
Bye. See ya.